Hey guys, what is up? It is your friendly neighborhood Uber Goose here, back again with another Isaac Bring On. This time we're starting with chocolate milk. And let's go. Haven't done a chocolate milk run in a while, at least not starting with it. So you know what? Let's do it. I like chocolate milk. Which could be seen as me just saying that I like it as an item. It could also be seen as a reference to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I had to struggle real hard to remember the name of that show. I fucking loved it when I was a kid. So there. Get fucked. Dislikers. Yeah, there was a character. I think his name was Cheddar. Was it Cheddar? I don't remember. No, Cheese. His name was Cheese, right? He was just a weird fucking, like, yellow dude. And, like, the only shit he said for ever? I know for a fact in the first episode that he existed, he only said, I like chocolate milk. And that's literally all he said. And that was a great impression of him, by the way. You can rip that sound file and, well, you know what? It could actually be seen as a problem, right? I don't want to get content ID matched. I'll edit it out in post. I don't do post. It's too much. That, like, I see, like, this sort of media, like the Let's Plays, right? I see it as much more of I don't know, like I don't know, like, you include everything, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's weird to cut shit in a Let's Play. Even if it's like, you're playing like a fucking old as fuck JRPG, and you're like doing it to cut out a lot of grinding and shit, it's like, nah. Just segregate the grinding to its own fucking episode, and if people want to watch the grinding, they can watch the grinding, you know? Or if you're like me, you can just re-roll the same item pedestal for 4 hours and people will still watch it, so that's cool. I think it's just because I ramble. I think that's just the main draw of me, is that I'm pretty good at rambling. I've always been good at just kind of filling time, I guess. I mean, filling time is kind of what I'm trying to say, but at the same time, it's not entirely what I mean, because I also, I'm good at, for example, when I had to write papers in school, very good at BSing shit. Very good. That's where my strength lied. I'm the BS king. So, like, filling time and filling space, I guess. I don't know. That sounds weird to call it like that, but your understanding of what I'm attempting to say, I assume. There we go. Oh, excuse me, Senor Larry. Damn it. Come on. Okay, what do we got? Let's find out. Little brimstone. I mean, fine. I'm only doing it because I already have a charge shot. I dislike Little Brimstone just because he's boring and changes the way that you play. But I'll take it because I do have an item that I'm happy to reroll, and it rerolled into something quite good. And I already have charge shot and blah, whatever. We're alright. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've told the story. I might have. I might have told the story about how in my... What year was it? What year was it? Junior year in high school? I want to say junior. It might have been sophomore, though. Not senior. Senior year, I didn't do fucking jack all. It was definitely one of the years that I was still kind of attempting the whole school thing. That was a great hit. I mean, technically, I attempted the whole school thing into college, and then I was like, well, this sure was a waste of time and money. But yeah, I think it was junior year. So we had like the summer reading stuff at our school. I don't know if every school had that. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, so I know a lot of schools had it, but I don't know if every school had it. But basically what they expected you to do was read a book over the summer, and then in like the first week of the class, and this was like just for English class or whatever, in like the first week you would do an assignment related to your summer reading book. So it was like personal to everybody because there was a long list to choose from and blah blah blah. I chose the book Made to Stick, which in hindsight it looks like a very incredibly interesting book that I would love to read if I enjoyed reading books. But it's about like inventions. I feel like I've told this story before. I'm gonna finish it anyway. It's about like inventions and like why they succeeded and shit. And that's about it, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. I know this because I read the summary on fucking Cliff Notes. But I didn't read it, obviously, because why would I fucking read over the summer? Also, ugh, books, ugh. And so what I ended up doing was I looked on Cliff Notes. I got just a very, very basic understanding of the book's premise. That was it. And then I wrote a fucking essay for the project. And in the essay, I spent like 2.5 pages talking about how the book was ironic, because the book is called Made to Stick, but it in and of itself had no lasting impression on me. And I got an A. So it was pretty good. I'm like a very, I don't know, I have an interesting method just in general, I guess. It's such a funny thing looking back on. I don't know, I feel like my teacher might have realized that I didn't read the book, and they were just like, eh, fuck it, whatever, they were creative, and gave me like an A or something. Because I didn't talk about the book at all. I just said that it, like, stuff like, it was bland, there was no interest, it could have spent more time just talking about specifics instead of overarching, blah, like all this stuff, right? All the stuff that I'm making up on the spot. Just super vague, and like, probably no matter what the book said, you could have actually seen where, like, you know, that sort of idea came from. Because it was so vague and just, you know. So, I don't know, I feel like my teacher might have known, but if they did know, they were fucking cool as hell for not fucking me over because of it. Or whatever. We're not getting good items this run. Have a few good ones, but very unexciting stuff recently from the past couple item rooms and such. So yeah, basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that, first of all, do your fucking homework, I guess. Fuck it, I'm not your parents. But, also, don't follow in my footsteps. Definitely don't do that. I want to be seen as, you know, a positive influence on people at some point in my life. Which technically so far I've achieved a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I was gonna say something else, but let's say a little bit. I'll say that I'm considered a positive influence, at least slightly. Alright, 2 guppy items, pretty sweet. But definitely don't follow in my footsteps when it comes to a professional career and such. Because no matter how much you see me as a positive influence, that's definitely a bad thing, what I've done. Which, by the way, is basically little. Little to nothing. I don't know. Recently I've been mostly focused on this whole YouTube thing, because I do see it as an opportunity. And it is earning me, I guess, enough money to scrape by. It's not, it's not, I wouldn't call it, like, equivalent to, like, a minimum wage job or something, but it's, I don't know, I'd consider it, like, supplemental income. And I'm not, don't worry, I'm not actually telling you how much I earn. I'm just, you know, giving you a ballpark. And, like, I don't know, it kind of sucks, but, like, whatever. I just have to spend my money more sparingly than most people, pretty much. I have to be more frugal. That's okay. Also, I'm, like, completely and entirely convinced that, you know, old medias and old, like, job things and all that sort of stuff is just eventually gonna get completely phased out. Just all of it. Like, it's just, that's gonna happen. In my lifetime, maybe not, but you know what? At least I could maybe ride the train. Even if we don't ever get to the station, you know? I mean, I think a lot of people understand right now that the whole, like, college experience sort of thing, like, the entirety of college is a completely different concept now, right? Because back in the day, college was, and, like, that's where a lot of our, like, parents' ideals come from, and why everybody's expected to, like, go to college and shit. Back in the day, it was like, you know, you go to college, and you're guaranteed a job. It might not be a great job, but it's a job somewhat related to the field that you studied in college, and it's guaranteed, right? Easy. What's the problem in that? I don't know. It seems fine to me. Okay, so we get to do some good shit here. I'm gonna take it, just because I'm crazy. Right, and, like, you were basically, not literally guaranteed a job, but if you played your cards right, you'd get a job. Because they'd, like, go out of their way to hire people who, went to certain colleges. Right, it was less of, you know, I mean, today, it's still, like, if you're trying to get a job that requires, like, a degree or something, the college you went to does still matter, but it's less, because it used to be they go to the college to find people, rather than people go to them, and then their opinion changes based on the college, right? And so, like, that's where a lot of our parents' ideals come from, where it's like, you gotta go to college so you can get a good paying job. But if you actually look at the amount of people who get a job right out of college and, like, their earnings and such, especially when you include student loans, oh, it's real bad. It's not a good thing at all. It's very, very bad. Most people they'd earn more money not going to college. And that's a very interesting thing. Now, I'm not using that to rationalize my not going to college. I'm just using it as an example to further a discussion. I do think, like, my decision to not finish college is my own. And, you know, I own up to everything relating to it. Shit. And that's whatever. Like, you know, I hate people who get super fucking opinionated about shit like that. And it's like, oh, you didn't go to college, you fucking neat. It's like, firstly, I feel like you're very America focused. Whoops, didn't actually want that. Uh-oh, hope we can get 5 more cents. It's very, like, America centric, right? A lot of people who discuss, like, world issues nowadays in the US happen to be very American focused, which is not a good way to be, to discuss certain things, such as that. For example, a lot of feminists are very America-focused, except for when they need to cherry-pick examples from third world countries that actually really do need feminism pretty dramatically, such as, I don't know, most Middle Eastern countries are pretty bad. But, like, you know, there's so much focus on the United States when you're in the United States that it just blinds you. Like, if you look elsewhere in the world, for example, about, like, college, or, as it's called in a lot of other places, university, a lot of people either don't go to it, or even if they do go to it, they, like, live with their parents well into their 20s. And that's just a normal thing. And then in America, it's like, well, you're 18, see you later. Good luck making it big in Detroit, you know? Because that's the only fucking place you'll be able to afford if you're moving out of your house at fucking 18. It's such a, I don't know, it's such a weird thing. And I mean, honestly, like, I'm super thankful that my parents are kind of understanding that it's not a normal thing to expect people to move out at fucking 18. Alright, I don't really give a shit about these. Might buy one of them. So yeah, I don't know. It's also a very touchy topic, because I feel like a lot of people are incredibly biased in favor of college because they themselves spent money on it, like large sums of money on it, and so they feel they have their own kind of like subconscious sunken cost bias sort of thing going on. I'm not saying everybody who went to college feels that way. I'm just saying there are definitely people who feel that way. As much as I know for a fact that it is true. In fact, I used to know one of them. Kind of, not really, more as an acquaintance than anything else. It was at my local game store for Friday Night Magics. Whatever, let's just take a little. Oh, also, I wanted to talk about something else. Remember how I talked about the whole thing with GamePro at the SGDQ thing? He was the crash runner who jokingly threatened to commit mass murder while in an auditorium filled with a couple hundred people. Yeah, that guy. So, I don't know. There's one thing that I think a lot of people are missing about it, and the reason that I'm talking about it is because it's obviously cropping up again. GamePro, like, tweeted about it and was trying to explain how it was everybody else's fault that they didn't notice he was joking or something. And I just want to throw it out there. If people don't know you're joking, maybe you're fucking bad at joking. Maybe there's a chance that you're really bad at it and probably shouldn't do it, especially when it relates to incredibly hot topics such as shootings or suicide. Now, I will agree to the point of the devil's advocate, I guess. I wasn't going to use devil's advocate, and then I just suddenly did. So, anyway, I will agree that the GDQ staff probably could have handled it a bit better. However, I still think that the decision is a perfectly reasonable one, and I stand by it. And it's not because I'm friends with GDQ staff or anything. I just understand that as a company, you have to have the, I guess, quote, customers' best interest in mind. And I say quote customers because it's not a company that deals with you know, buying and selling, right? It's not really buying and selling of goods. It's so, but you know what I'm saying, right? And if the best interests of your customers involve getting rid of somebody who, you know, you feel uncomfortable around, then so be it. It's a similar thing to the Zach Jesse controversy in Magic the Gathering that cropped up fairly recently. So Zach Jesse was a pro Magic player, and I say was, and I'll get to that. He was a pro Magic player who played for years, right? And there was nothing weird. And then suddenly, one day, suddenly one day, Zach Jesse was on like a show match for some stream, like a GP or something. I don't quite remember the specifics. But somebody who I'm forgetting who it was, because they're dead to me, but they have been for like as long as I can remember. Basically on Twitter was like they just kind of started talking about Zach Jesse's past actions. Specifically, there was a sexual assault case involving him in 2006? I want to say 2006. Which, by the way, it wasn't ruled in such a way that like he basically a settlement was reached. That's what happened. That's how the court case concluded. A settlement was reached. That's it. However, this guy, oh, was it Drew Levin? I think that's who it was. The guy who was just randomly brought it up on Twitter. Right, so this was the thing that is fucking old, right? Like, almost 10 years ago. And yeah, sexual assault's a very serious thing. I'm not going to disagree with that. And I think that, legitimately, it might be one of the worst things that a person can commit. Well, aside from literal murder. But, you know, there's obviously differences between the two, and they're not directly comparable, at least in my opinion. Can't really say if one is truly worse than the other, because one involves the person being dead, and the other involves the person kind of living with it for the rest of their life. But one kills the person, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So, it basically, this is like an almost 10-year-old thing, and Drew Levin, because he dislikes Zach Jesse, brought it up. And then it created more or less a witch hunt for Zach Jesse. And eventually, after everybody assumed the thing was over, the event, right, the witch hunt, was done, Wizards updates their banned players, like list, or whatever, Wizards of the Coast, the company that creates Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, blah, blah, blah. They also deal with, you know, sanctioned events and such for Magic the Gathering. And so they updated, like, their banned players list, and lo and behold, fucking Zach Jesse was on it. No statement at all. Just kind of hoping nobody would see, and Zach Jesse's banned. All right, good. Got rid of him. Now, I personally disagree with the ban, but I understand the ban. I understand that Wizards' choice was to attempt to make players feel comfortable. If there's somebody who makes you feel uncomfortable, and that is impeding your ability to be involved with a product, such as Magic the Gathering, then the company behind the product, it is in their best interest to remove that person, right? So I understand the decision. I don't agree with it personally, because I think that one of the biggest issues with sexual assault cases is actually the complete and total, what's it called? Ostracization? Is that the correct way to conjugate that shit? Whatever. Of the sexual assault offenders. So the sexual offenders, how about? Let's use words that exist. Because the legal system already fucks you when you commit a sexual assault. It does. Don't try and argue that it fucking doesn't, because it does. In a lot of cases, you'll go to jail. Like a lot, pretty much all of them. Not only will you go to jail, but then you are permanently marked as a sexual offender, which not only is there forever and you're available in any sexual offender database that ever could exist. So now you always have a permanent black mark on whatever, no matter who you're talking to. They can look it up. Not only that, but you also have to tell people when you move in to a neighborhood that you are a sexual offender. You're a registered sex offender. Right? So the legal system already fucks you. And there's more, but like those are the big points. The legal system already bends you over backwards, right? And that sucks. But it's kind of deserved because you committed a pretty horrendous crime. However, when people try to go above and beyond to what I would consider, vigilante justice and ruin somebody's life because they're a sexual offender, a sex offender. God, I keep just weirdly changing terms. They take it upon themselves to make that person's life hell. That, I think, is a problem. But the biggest problem is that you can't fucking fix that. That's just a thing that'll probably always be around, and it's really fucking awful. Right? And, like, that's my main problem with it, though, is the fact that it kind of... they kind of took that into their own hands rather than letting the legal system take care of it all. I don't know. It's a very touchy topic as well, so I apologize if I'm upsetting you or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've said anything that is really horrendously offensive. I've pretty much just stated my opinions and why I feel that way. So, yeah. If you get mad, it's probably your own fault or something. So, I don't know. It's a very unique situation. Both of them, in fact. And the other thing is, a lot of people will be like, they'll see me talking about these two and comparing them and be like, well, if Zach Jesse got banned and you're okay with it, then... Or, well, what exactly was I about to say there? I don't know. Whatever. Basically, they'll try and equate the two, but I think that the best way to go about it is not necessarily... just compare the two. Don't equate the two, right? If that makes sense. They're similar situations, but everything should still be handled case by case. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. I spit it out. Also, when I'm saying it's a touchy topic, I mean, fucking, what isn't this day and age? Holy shit. Talk about anything and people get super fucking pissed off. I don't really think Drano is that good of a product. What the fuck did you just say about Drano? I'll have you know my dad is a fucking Drano. What? Yeah, I don't know. It's just... I just want to talk about shit, right? And I love when people disagree with me, because it opens the door to a fucking new perspective that I didn't know about. I love it. I just hate when people are so set on an opinion that is based on, like, being offended, I guess. I just want to talk to people about stuff. I don't hold it against people if they're fucking... if they feel a certain way about a certain topic that is different than me. I just hate people who are fucking shitbags. That's about it. And I mean, some people could see me as a shitbag, and that's your own prerogative. I'm not gonna stop you. If you don't like me, you don't like me. That's cool. Whatever. You don't need to tell me. It's fine keeping it to yourself. It's not that I'll get offended, it's just I don't give a shit. If people don't like me, they don't have to deal with me, you know? It's like somehow telling somebody that you dislike them is like taking a moral high ground or something. Like, to that person, it's a moral victory or something. Dr. Fetus, or Epic Fetus sounds hilarious, but I'm just gonna roll. But it's such a funny thing. Everybody wants to get the last word in an argument. That's just like a very human thing to do. And it includes like when you dislike something that somebody's doing, right? I saw a hilarious post on Reddit, which was a screen cap of a Tumblr post. And the original post on the Tumblr post was just like a lunch, right? A very healthy looking lunch. It was like a fried egg, like some variety of Asian salad it looked like. I don't know. I wasn't really paying the most attention. I just kind of glanced at it and was like, oh, okay. And they were talking about how it was nice to be eating what they were eating. And then there was an anonymous responding to them being like, hey, I understand that you're enjoying yourself with the whole fit lifestyle thing, but you don't have to post about it all the time. It's really triggering to some people. And it's like, I'm so sorry, but what? And then the person responds again, and it's like, you know, they progressively, over like 4 responses, they get more and more to like the fuck you and your thin privilege, you piece of shit. It's like, you, and then the best response was when the original poster was like, I mean, you know, you can work out too and live a healthy lifestyle just like what I did a few months back, and I'm feeling great by living this healthy lifestyle. And they're like, excuse you, some people can't live a healthy lifestyle. For example, I have bad knees, so my doctor said if I run, I'll cause more damage. And it was like, oh god, oh jeez, oh, what are you, how do I handle this? Okay, alright, hang on. But yeah, I don't know, it's very stupid. Everybody wants the last word, and everybody always wants to get offended at everything. I just wish people would fucking talk like they used to. And just speak about the issues in a nonchalant way and not break off in fucking ad hominem nonstop and whatever. Whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can see more Isaac in the future. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video.